Well. Vog, my gur. Let the bugles blast. Guys, we out here. It must be Wednesday because your boy's been streaming 3 weeks in a row. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Man, I am so happy to see you guys. I need to bring up the separate Twitch chat because I want to know what's going on. I want to know what's going on. I want to holler at my peeps. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I'm in a nightmare of looping myself. One moment, we were almost home, and we did it. Richter, what's up, big dog? Good seeing you. Appreciate you coming through. Okay. I mean, first and foremost, truly, what up? Good seeing you. We made it. I had an unbelievable night last night that I will briefly touch on. Yo, ticking time, Bob. What up, big dog? Another bugle for a legend themselves. How goes the Cthulhu campaign? I'm riveted. I'm interested. I check Discord every night. I'm ready. I'm ready for the call. Ready to take that call. Oh my gosh, Richter, God bless you. Hey, we're both right on time. Had an incredible night. I don't want to go too deep into this, but I feel like I need to just explain it. I had... It's going to sound crazy. I've been doing a lot of work with patterning meditations. And that's a specific kind of approach. It's akin to like projection or remote viewing. I'm using some stuff from the Monroe Institute, which is a really wild, like, meditation laboratory, more or less, that's existed since the 70s and was sort of co-opted by the CIA. And then a bunch of things were declassified 5 or 6 years ago. I like meditation anyways. It's beautiful. I think getting myself to a place of presence where I can truly just try to be in the moment, focused on what I'm doing, in touch with my body, my surroundings, my vibe. It's a good feeling, right? It's how we want to live. It's like awake and alive. I was really feeling lousy yesterday. And like, you know, a number of things kind of relating to old patterns or old opinions I had about myself. And, you know, it's tough. We're out here trying to work. We're trying to make money. We're trying to, you know, keep a roof over our head and also a pulse in our tiny black hearts, right? You have to do stuff that you enjoy, or what else are we doing anything for, right? Like, why are we here? Why are we doing this? I was feeling really lousy. I'm like, man, I'm like off. I'm like negative. I'm kind of caught up in this thing. I had to make some calls for business and just felt like my vibe was off. You know what I mean? Ended up the timing was such that it didn't work out, which I think was a good thing. But I do my thing. I come home, have to tutor some clients. They're great. One of them is taking the SAT right now. Go get him, Cyrus. Let's go. But I found myself just tight. Sometimes tutoring can be excruciating. And it's never the student's fault, truly. It's only like where I'm at with it. And the session was fine. It was helpful. It was all good. But my experience was one of like, oh, this was hard. I'm like bothered, man. But it's all good. I rush out. I get my boy. We're hanging. Mom gets home. Great. But I'm feeling it in my bones. And I recently have really wanted to give an awareness to if I'm feeling weird, if I'm feeling sad or distracted or mad. I don't want to get overwhelmed by that or wallow in that, but I would like to just tell myself some version of, hey, what's up with that? Some version of, do you want to talk about that? I had someone that I really respect. I described this to them. I was like, man, sometimes I feel like weird. And we all know this feeling, or our own version of the feeling. And they framed it to me as if asking me, what would I do if Waylon came to me and told me that he was feeling sad or mad or whatever? Like, would I tell him to focus on something else and kind of just go about my task? Or would I be like, let's chop it up? What's going on? And so I took that same approach with myself. Y'all, this meditation last night, my wife had to step out to run a quick errand. And I'm like, okay, perfect. I ate dinner. Like, I'm about to play Smash Bros, but I'm feeling weird. I'm going to meditate. I went to space. I was utterly beyond my physical body, such that I kind of came back and was almost like shaking. I've never felt that light or that expansive in my life. And I shit you not, I had so many thoughts. It was a crazy journey. Laughed, cried, insane. It was insane. I felt insane. But through it all, in a brief moment, was this deep, piercing arrow of immense gratitude for DnD specifically. I literally had the thought, man, I can't believe I get to like run a Dark Sun campaign that's set in the ashes of my first campaign. That shit is fucking dope. And I don't mean like, oh, I'm so dope. I mean, what an opportunity. Like, what a crazy world. Okay. I'll keep you posted. Had to put it on ice right now to take another opportunity. Oh, let's go. Amazing. Well, hey, Bob, then, well, first off, congrats and break legs on whatever you got going on. And then secondly, let me know, because maybe the timing lines up now that I could be more available. But regardless, man, hope it's all good. Thanks. So guys, let's chop it up. Thank you for joining me on my diatribe about breath work and patterning meditations. It was an insane, unbelievable night. But to then kind of sleep, and this morning I'm just like, whoa. I wrote for a little bit. Just crazy. Truly, Vogue, like it was, you know. But it kind of, in the framework of where we are today, there's a little bit of me with this sense of, you know, where are the gods in all this? And by this, I mean Athos, I mean Dark Sun, you know? Trying to get a meditation schedule. So glad to hear that it works for you. Oh, man. I saw that as a set of eyes balancing a bowl atop their head. I love that emoji. Vogue, you rock. Man, you got to find what works for you. I don't have a set time in terms of like it's always at 7 a.m. But I do basically have a set window where I know, I mean, typically it's about 8 a.m. Like after, everyone's eaten, we've gotten people out the door. And then at night I try to find a time just between 10 and 11. Unless I'm going to bed earlier, then it's like 9:30, 10:30. But maybe it's just like anything where like if you can set the time, if you can be like, hey, I'm going to do it on Wednesday, then you'll do it on Wednesday. And even if it's just doing it on Wednesday to begin with, you're doing it on Wednesday. Oh God. I was going to do a big dramatic 80s crack, but this is quite drippy for some reason. Okay. D&D time, guys. Welcome to the Dance of Death. Dark Sun is obviously a rowdy place, but we're so early in the campaign that I think as we prep for next Tuesday when we'll play, I need to be lining up. I need to be focusing and prioritizing two things. The first one, which I feel like I did a great job of in the initial session, is establishing the world and setting the tone of the world. This is applicable for any D&D campaign ever, right? Like you want to kind of have a vibe of what is the tone of the storytelling and what is the atmosphere of the world. But with a world like Dark Sun, or maybe like if you're doing a Spelljammer or some different module or some contemporary campaign, if it's outside of the realm of that classic sort of high fantasy Faerun, my my dog might be getting dropped off right now. Marley might be coming home in this moment. Marley?
Hi, hello.
Hey.
Hi.
Oh my gosh, give me 2 seconds, guys. It's hilarious. Okay, great. Yeah, you can go ahead and leave him.
Okay, got it. All right.
Amazing, yeah. Hey, big boy! You guys have fun?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, we had a good time.
Amazing, man. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, brother. Thank you. Marley, man. Come here. Look at this boy. Oh, Marley. He is pumped as heck. He's gone. He's coming back. Marley, come here. Oh, he's getting water. My God. Marley went on a hike. Whoo! Marley's living his life. Yo, Foos. What up, Ledge? Love y'all. Yeah, 1, fun, 2, fun. Exactly. Yo, got it. Yeah, the top 3 priorities are definitely have fun. Marley is about to be... God, he's drinking too much water. He's probably going to throw up. You'll take it easy there, big boy. He's glugging. Foos, how are you? Happy Wednesday. Yes, we will have fun. We'll have fun in the prep and fun in the session. Get over here, big boy. There's my cute pup. What you doing, big boy? Oh, there he goes. Gosh, that's a swishy pup. He is so precious to me. Marley's been loving his life. Well, he typically will drink too fast whenever he's very thirsty, and then he'll blurp up like a bit of water. It's more of a blurp. Marman, you are so cute, and I love you so much. Welcome home. So good. Okay. They really have been put on hold. My sanity, for the most part. But guys, the fun will come. The fun is sort of built into the experience. We know that. Easy to follow in the session. Easy to find when you're hanging out with people you enjoy. But also worth mentioning. So I appreciate that, Richter. But in the tone of the world, like that number 1, the tone is going to be established. Like, I feel like I have it at the top of my mind. So things like paper... We are just using gold, silver, and copper, but there are no coins. It's almost like pressed clay, like tokens that are hard to forge or replicate, but not impossible. And things like iron, things like low magic, things like desert attire and survival necessities, blah, blah, blah. But the second thing, and it's critical for any campaign, especially early, is some version of, yo, here's what we're doing. You know, here's what the campaign is about. Here's why you're here as heroes, as people in this world that need you here. I think Dark Sun, the OG tells you to start at level 3. Which the fact that 2nd edition is saying your party should start at level 3 because Dark Sun is very intense. Like they're saying that in the 90s? Damn. It must be very intense. But we're level 1. So that needs to be balanced as well. The party can't kill the dragon at level 1. They can, but I guess they could. Maybe. Probably not, but they could. Oh my gosh. Dark Sun is amazing, Bob. Have you run it? Like, this is my first kind of exposure other than hearing Ninner's kind of rage. That was the initial vampire of me being a Dark Sun baddie. Also, Richter, you know what you're doing there. I've only played in it years ago. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's a whole new world. But let's go through kind of what I have. And also keep in mind what I've established. I'm first going to jot down some things that I know I need to find. The Purse Keeper detains. Yes, poem of the 3 Templars. I think this is critical. Dionizio. Oh, by the way, Foos and Vogue, the character that Kits played in the Cthulhu 4-shot or 3-shot that we ran, it has made a pretty powerful appearance. Session 1, Dionizio is a sort of tabaxi man that is happy to see the death of the Sorcerer Kings. And it was so... Yeah. Like, as I'm playing it, I'm just thinking of Kits playing it, which truly was better than I play it, obviously. Like, it's him, you know? It's his. But it was just a funny kind of overlap of Twitch prep, friendship, and, badass Spanish rogues. Or I think Dionicio was Argentinian. He really did. Yeah. But Dionicio is going to be a member of the Veiled Alliance, which is part of the, it's really kind of maybe the only institution for good, shall we say, in Athos. Sort of a secret organization, a network set to undo and work against the Sorcerer Kings. I think the big advantage that the Veiled Alliance has is that, unlike the free cities, which all exist independently and almost competitively within each other's scope, the Veiled Alliance can work in harmony, in coordination. I'm trying to think about how they might mark themselves. I need to clip that for him. Oh my God, Vog, please. For him, for everyone, for the good of the world. I think he has a brand or a tattoo on his flesh. A veil, a half-drawn veil. We'll revisit that. But something that I want to have happen here. They're outside the hovel of the Lady in the Black Rock. The Purse Keeper is there. Dionicio is getting beat up. What was it that was big picture? Was just that. Oh, just the existence of the Veiled Alliance. Okay, cool. So they will see Dionicio being beat up. Also I think kind of like what happened to Mace. Mace is like the 11-year-old boy that was brought bleeding into this tavern that kind of, necessitated a reaction, and sort of forced the party to either let this child die out or attempt to help them. And that help ended up being the aid of this witch, this Lady of the Black Rock, basically, that used magic in a place where magic is forbidden. So the party's kind of been dragged into a guilty by association type scenario. And I think ultimately I want them to be able to sort of potentially connect with the Veiled Alliance, maybe save a Veiled Alliance member or be saved by the Veiled Alliance, something like that. And also because I want them to sort of recognize that they are now have the opportunity to, as a unit, kind of congeal, take a stance against the Sorcerer King of this city or that city, or all of them. But what happened to Mace was a strange tale. I, in the moment, was more or less kind of vamping and trying to connect the wound in this boy's chest to the fall of the Four Sisters, to this kind of, quest through line of there being 4 magical rings, and that one of them or all of them being needed to access this thing called a solar sphere, which is this ancient kind of arcane scope that has recently been discovered. But the through line on that is that the only woman that remains, the only sister that remains that actively holds one of these 4 ancient magical rings, is now also known as the Fae that was. This, and this is what we'll kind of have to play with, I think human, I think I said they were from Everland, or what was formerly Everland before the Great Loss. And yeah, what would lead someone to making a deal with a Fae that either leads to immortality, that either leads to immense power? The easy answer is vanity, to live forever, or perhaps some version of vengeance, some like long-standing need to destroy. Yeah, me too, Vog. I needed it. Honestly, and with that in mind, we are coming up on June, where we will be doing another Streamiversary game. I'm not sure what exactly it's going to be, so I don't want to put the cart ahead of the old horse. I'm the horse. All right? I'm both the cart and the horse. Let's be clear. There's a heart, there's a heart, there's a cart, there's a horse, there's me. I'm all of them. But we are going to be going and doing some version of a live play, so perhaps we can drag Dionysio back into the mix. He just plays across systems. Okay, so Mace was with his sister and little brother and their dad. Valak. We'll call him Valak. Carpenter, in the craftsman's nook. We'll call that the craftsman's. We'll call that a neighborhood, the craftsman's nook. A section of Caravanity. That's so good. I am the cart and the horse. How do I come up with my names? That is, some combination of. I'll usually decide, is it some modern adjacent name, or is it completely out there and of the fantasy realm? This for me is the former, where it's sort of like, okay, this could be someone. There could be someone in Hungary named Valak. But after I've sort of made that mental decision of like modern or more protracted, I'll then just pick a letter. I'll literally look down at the keyboard and be like, bloop, and then build off of that. And if I don't like it, I'll just go back and do something else. But most of the time they work. Just make sure you can say it and it doesn't sound weird when you say it, In the craftsman's nook, Valak stepped away. Stepped inside. The man on the other side of this transactional exchange, we'll call this guy Reslerin. Yo, insomnia, let the storm of chaos rhyme. Bro, how are we? Or phallic. Classic. It's like, phallic. That's why you say it out loud. To make sure it's not something adjacent to an organ. No, it's phallic, my guy. I'm just now seeing this. I love y'all. Good seeing y'all. How we living? Yo, I'm so glad. I guess that's, this is sort of the through line. Is insomnia coming through and creating waves. It's me, phallic. Why are you giggling? Yeah. Did you know my dad? Vashik? It's like, all right. Athos is a hard enough place. We don't need to add in phallic jokes. That's another pun suggested. Okay. The man on the other side of the transaction, Reslerin. Feel free to sully that one up, insomnia. Good seeing you there, dude. He comes back. Mace offers some of the old wooden moldings. Follows Reslerin to the side of the space. Yeah. Long shadows begin to stretch. So I think what's happening here is like there's a fae in disguise. I'll have to properly break you down. Like, this whole moment came because I was trying to work in the whole Four Sisters thing, which I'll go back to. But there was nothing I felt like that was really hooking the party. So when they finally responded to this kid with like a huge, bite, like chunk out of his chest, I, in the moment, was trying to reasonably reconnect it to this legend of the Four Sisters and the fae that was. So that's what's going on here. Ah, man. Hey, good to be seen. Good to be seen, dog. I was telling the good people that I transcended last night. If I seem particularly clear or conversely incoherent, that might be why. It's also my wife's birthday today. What'd you get her? Better be nothing. Better not outdo me. But Waylon already got us the best gift anyone could and slept like 10 straight hours last night. Oh!
I'm the man up in this piece.
Incredible. Absolute game changer. Hog wild. I'm just seeing Marley out of the corner of my vision responding to these pigs. And let me tell you, it's worth every second. It's worth every decibel. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. But this moment, I want to kind of set up a lot of who and what this phase is about. So long shadows begin to stretch. The alleyway becomes a black infinity pool stretching towards an empty horizon line. The figure of Reslerman begins to stretch, begins to expand, to grow slender and tall before turning back. A hideous crone. Her eyes like emerald set stones, glowing green and ancient. So I'll have Mace sort of explain this a little bit more. Reslerin, I think Reslerin and Valak are dead. And yeah, that's enough. That's a great sentence right there. Reslerin and Valak are dead. Now I feel like I have to make it Valak. But I'm not going to. I'm going to resist that. Push back. Even though it feels oh so right. I got her a wacky waving inflatable flailing arm tube man. For reals, I did get my wife a desk size one and a catapult. Oh, yeah, how big is the desk? That is great. I buy her silly desk toys. That's a great move. Exactly. That was my first thought as well for some reason. Why was I also thinking Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead? Why was I thinking that? That's so funny. Honestly, if anyone ever got me an inflatable tube man, I would lose my goddamn mind. But if someone got me a one that like needs to live outside, I think I would pass out. I think I would have a heart attack and be like, oh my god. Yo, the engineer, welcome. Welcome to the prep. D&D players put dragons in their game name, but if you make a dragon dungeon, they go wild. Wow, that I like. Welcome in, sir. I like the spelling of engineer. Makes me feel like we're celebrating Christmas. Yeah, a dragon dungeon would be pretty epic. I can see it being, of course, some version of like a subterranean cave system full of smaller wyverns, drakes, and then some ancient baddie at the very end of the travels. But a dragon dungeon could also simply be some cool ass, like ancient corpse, right? That almost is traversed, that it itself has been turned into some sort of space. I like that. It's a good sized desk. Okay, got it. Are we talking like 2.5 feet? Like, how tall is this tube man? You know? Kits, what up, dog? So good to see you. We were just talking about Dionysio, the tabaxi of the Veiled Alliance. A brave man, willing to celebrate the death of despots. Another drink for my companions. It was so funny. I was telling Vogue and Fizz this. Like, it truly... Oh, you saw... Okay, cool. You're killing me. Okay, yeah, welcome in, Engineer. We're prepping a Dark Sun campaign that's sort of a crossover. So, the actual session I'm not too concerned with in terms of the brass tacks of what's going to happen. Vogue just posted a clip in the Discord. I gotta get in there. The tube man is like 6 inches tall. Insomnia. Come on now, big dog. I need a much bigger tube man. No jokes. I need that tube, man. All right, so let's revisit kind of the larger overarching situations we have here. I do want to start with the fall of the Four Sisters, but let's just sort of read what we have for campaign 2, right? 156 years later, scarcity of food, water, and iron. The hand of the blind jackal stretches like a cold fog over the Sword Coast. I don't know about that. I think that's a beautiful line, but I don't really feel like that's accurate anymore. They're dead, right? Trent has got to be dead at this point. We'll leave it. I'm going to make a note to self. Do they? Do they, though? Is this the drow? Okay. We will revisit this. Also give myself a little bit of a red stoplight vibe, which typically means, yo, something is going on here. Yo, Marshmallow, thank you. My boy. Y'all ever had a Rambler? Limestone water, baby boy. How are you, Marshmallow? Happy Wednesday. Do you need help? I love world building and stuff. Fuck yeah, get in here. I shall tempt you. Oh, dude. Insomnia. Come on now. If you want to see me actively pass out, get that tube, man. Scarcity of food and water. Iron, established. Great loss, established. Silvery moon, still around. Marcine has swelled. That doesn't really matter, though. They might hear about it at some point. Real Tyrion's not been seen. Rumors of him drift down. Very cool. 3rd year in a row of famine. Chantea lies dormant. Wilted in the astral plane. Got it. The moon does not phase properly anymore. Hangs half full for weeks. So this is all kind of the gods. And I think these are things that are good to keep in mind. I wanted to have... I've already established how the moon hasn't been phasing, which I like. You know? The chat ticker on the tree and stuff. Really? How bizarre. I see it on my end. Well, who knows? I have a self-hating dragon you can use. That's hilarious. Well, I've got the dragon, but go ahead and tell us about this self-hating one. And how can we heal? How can we heal this dragon? I'm seeing it on my end, Vogue, but let me know, Leggy. So, the moon's been established. The gods they know about, like, they're basically gone. There's, like, very few clerics, as it were. Almost no... There's definitely no real ubiquitous religion amongst the people. It's one of survival and violence and oppression. It's the U.S. in 2025 is what I'm saying. So the moon's there. The Evermores are rich. That would be worth sort of pointing out. I think honestly all of this I'm just going to copy and paste, and I will then reword it down below. This is called self-plagiarizing, and I recommend it. So this I just kind of want to have down here, and then we'll get a feel for it. Cool. But these four sisters, I wanted to be kind of a way to have sort of a introduction of different characters and a first arc hook of some kind, right? Like, I think the question of what is the party after fixing the world, i.e. the climate, i.e. the environment, that will be done by fixing the gods. Okay, so this I'm just going to jot. Problems. Climate will be fixed by fixing the astral plane. The balance of the pantheon of gods. The other is the sorcerer kings. Can be allied with, killed, pitted against each other. How will the party seek to interact with the political political institutions of despotism and violence? So that I like that's sort of okay, cool, Vog. Guys, we can now continue with the stream. Oh no. Don't you dare come at me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you kindly. I like all of this. And so where do these rings fit in, right? Fall of the Four Sisters, the Allegandar line, the Wojevs, some heretofore unknown family from Everland or elsewhere. Wealthy parents, merchant father, and altruist mother who fought to keep Everland from collapse. The Backbrooks. Had long held in their family a precious artifact, an observatory lens made of enchanted brass, an astral telescope, the solosphere, capable of seeing into the astral plane. This is both like a scrying spell into the astral plane and also a devastating potential weapon, like source of energy. But made for the four daughters of the family to keep in their possession, each enchanted in similar ways but different workings. Star, water, fire, and earth. Come on! Now I feel like I have to put a heart in there. By your powers combined. Yo, Captain Planet and his crew, they were all fucking, right? Oh, I am dead. But they were all hooking up, right? No? Was I the only one that got that? Okay, well, that's sort of how it translated to me, but maybe I'm wrong. Basically, Zero is a dragon born out of a love affair between a white and black dragon. Wow. Is it set in the American South? So he was raised by a family that hated either side of him. He internalized the hatred. Oof. He has no horde, servants, and will actively go out of his way to vandalize anything he deems beautiful. That's cool. Also, he can make weapons out of his own blood, so he wounds himself a lot when in combat. Interesting. I had an undead dragon whose breath weapon was blood, and I think it's very fucking metal. He wounds himself a lot, almost like a blood hunter would. That's kind of the vibe I get. I don't know. You know, Vog. You know. You're telling me water and heart weren't dipping out early from the functions? I would have to say they were. Okay, so made for these 4 daughters. But what's the deal here? So like this wealthy father is making this, so the mom made this, huh? Like I'm trying to, right? Like what? Like who makes this? The resolution of an argument between the parents. What should we even say? I feel like this guy's a Larestes, and what do we think the mom's name is? I want to make it just like Shakespearean, like Helene. Okay, so this is basically Midsummer Night's Dream. Great. Yeah, basically he claws him at himself and draws a giant great sword out of the wound. Oh, that's very Elden Ring. Let's get it. Death become my blade once more. Mildred I like, but Mildred, like I feel like the mom is... Like Mildred is... I don't know how to put it. Mildred seems like she's 50, right? And like plays bridge really well. I like Mildred. I feel like I need to give her a ride to and from the airport sometimes. Yeah? But there's a place for a Mildred in here. So this was sort of an argument, right? That Larestes in the wrong and appeasing his soft-hearted Helene. Soft-hearted Mildred, you know what I mean? She can be hot too. Listen, did I say she couldn't? That might have been connoted. But of course, dude. Of course Mildreds can be babes. Of course. As we all know. What do you think I'm giving her a ride to the airport? That's a joke. But one I think is hilarious. Okay, so we'll put Mildred in the queue down here. Mildred is the fae that was. Mildred's one of the daughters. That's what it is. Duh. A fae that was. Mildred. Let's go. Finally. Okay, so the daughters will have to get their names down. Appeasing stuff started Helene. The scales of the world matter little beneath the weight of the stars. A telescope capable of seeing into the beyond. In ways proving Helene's point. The emptiness, the inherent emptiness of a life spent in pursuit of things. Pursuit of the material. So basically like opposites attract type thing. I think he had this conscripted. I think this was made by artisans called from the four corners of Faerun. Right? I think this is like a bigger kind of thing. He just had someone build it. It's an enormous sort of almost observatory lens. But why do we think it would also be capable of generating an enormous amount of light? Yeah. Capable of capturing and reflecting the brilliance of the heavens. It's the weight of heaven. Energy beam. So basically, it's sort of like it does 200 D10, right? The lenses can trap lights. Name really trigger imagination. Yeah, agreed. We need to. We need to have it do that, right? Mildred was the name of my parents threatened to name me if I was bad. What? Oh my God, fuck. You're like, I spent about 30 hours of my life as a Mildred. Only when I was in trouble. That is so funny. I think I love that about your parents. How do you feel about that? I can see it as a punishment. Not sure why. Exactly. So Mildred, the daughter, we can all see becoming the fae that was, right? Lenses and mirrors can do that. Yeah, I wish I knew more about that, right? After 2 months, my lawyer finally got back to me. Dude, 2 months? Let's go. I mean, were they on sabbatical? I feel like that is way too long, and I feel like you almost need to get someone else, right? So, Greg falls into the Torn Skull Orcs. So, let me just check one thing because I need to find out. Okay, so Selleck is formerly Everland. Great. Cool. So it's now Selleck. Great. Just want to make sure that it's Selleck, all right? Yes, great. Just don't want to write that wrong for the next 2 years, yeah? Yo, Amon. You know what? It is late morning, and I love when it's still morning. So I'm going to say good morning to you, sir. Welcome. Good seeing you. Get in here. You can have magic mirrors, glass, store energy, kind of like an Ioun stone. Am I saying that right? An ion stone? That's insane. Richter, I know I'm on a Disney kick, but the energy beam from the telescope is totally flashing me to the Disney's gummy bears. Well, that sounds like a delicious flash. I'm unfamiliar with that. Kids, God bless. I hope the afternoon is lovely. The weather here is perfect. Ioun stone. Oh, amazing. Okay, cool. That's different than a transmuter stone, huh? Rain just started. Well, sometimes that's nice. Amon, I love that. I love that it's moved on. What ended up happening to Maven? What's going down? Break us off. You're supposed to have snow in the morning? Kids, what's going on? Where are you? This reminds me of when, like, Flandy was in Alaska? Yes? Dark days. Dark days, that Alaska. Made for the 4 daughters of the family. 2 rings are in Selleck. Held. Now, the Sorcerer King there, what's his name? Forget. Athos, DnD. It's something fucking rowdy. Enveloped. How are they? Okay. Strange psionic man, many beasts. Patriarch Corson Marineth. Okay, well, this version I don't really like. There was one that... I think I just go Selleck. I thought there was a different one that I had. Oh, bro. I'm so in the wrong. Okay, 2 seconds. Let me pull up the actual source book we should be using. Ridiculous. You're being ridiculous. You, sir, are ridiculous. There it is. Here we go. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's go down to Selleck, eh? That is... City of Lions. Tyr. Balak. Draj. You guys skipping Selleck? Come on now. Ram. Ringing Mountains. Road. Sea of Silt. Southern Wastes. Uruk. How you guys boning me so hard on Selleck? Ridiculous. How dare they? How dare they? Magnetic for magic, yes. For psionic power. I'm gonna, and this is something that I'm surprised because I've read through pretty much all of this campaign guide, and I feel like it does reference it because I use it in the map. And Selleck has kind of been a big part of what I've been doing. But I'll just draw from Balak. That's fine. You know what? We'll say Selleck is run by merchants. That's fine. That I like. Held by the merchant overlord. This is going to be TBD for me. Because I want to properly look this up. I need to do a more comprehensive look at all of the free cities of Athos. Because I want to be really consistent, and I want to know what I'm like, what the fuck I'm referencing, right? I thought that all of the cities that I had sent out, right, like here, were, I mean, we call them free cities, but they're like run by despots, you know. Yeah. So we'll just have to double check that. It really, in this moment, does not matter that much. But the point is, 2 of them are held, where they basically were created. 1 is said to have been worn and lost by the great-great-grandson, fallen Torn Skull orcs. Now lost, now washed out into the Sea of Silt. The 4th ring's location is unclear. Was said to have been still worn by a great-great-granddaughter. She went seeking the grandfather tree. Still worn. I'm just going to say worn by a daughter, because this is going to be this ancient person. What's the link in the Discord, Richter? We're supposed to have snow in the morning. Love that. Chicago, one of the few places in the world where you can experience all 4 seasons in the course of 24 hours. Man, yes, a very, very transitional city in a weather sense. That's hilarious. Houston can also really get weird, but obviously it ain't snowing there much. Though it did this year more than it has in almost 100 years. So figure it out. Oh, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. Cool. Okay, I'm about to open this thing up. We about to open this thing up. Adventures of the Gummy Bears. Okay, you guys drop some heat. Drop some damn heat over here. Ayun. God of knowledge and prophecy. Wow. When you use an action to toss one of these stones in the air, the stone orbits your head at a distance of 1d3 feet and confers a benefit to you. Thereafter, another creature must use an action to grasp or net the stone. Wow. What the fuck? A stone has an AC 24, 10 hit points, and resistance to all damage. It is considered to be an object that is being worn while it orbits your head. Okay. This is insane. What a crazy device. I love that they give you a distance of 1d3 feet. It is considered to be an object that is being worn while it orbits your head. While this pale lavender ellipsoid orbits your head, you can use your reaction to cancel a spell of 4th level or lower Cast by a creature you can see and targeting only you. Wow. There's no range on it, though. Creature you can see. That's crazy. Once the stone has canceled 20 levels of spells, it burns out and turns dull gray, losing its magic. This is rowdy. If you are targeted by a spell whose level is higher than the number of spell levels the stone has left, the stone can't cancel it. Got it. Wow. I mean, you could stop there and it would be dope as fuck. But we continue. So these are different types of Ion Stones. Ioun Stones? You gave it to me phonetically, which I really... Ioun. Great. Okay, I appreciate you guys in the chat. I'm going to... let me just read this. This is crazy. Dexterity increases by 2. Maximum of 20 while this deep red sphere orbits your head. Got it. So it just goes on. You can just use it. You can't be surprised while this dark blue rhomboid orbits your head. Wow. Fortitude. I feel like awareness should come with a perception bonus as well. Fortitude. Your constitution score increases by 2 to a maximum of 20. Wow. Greater absorption? Greater? Greater than that? While this marbled lavender and green ellipsoid. Wow. Go from pale to marbled. You can use your reaction to cancel a spell of 8th level or lower. Can you imagine giving this to anyone? Like, this is the most epic shit in the world. Maybe the end of a campaign, but otherwise it's going to drive me crazy. Once the stone has canceled 50 levels of spells, it burns out and turns dull gray, losing its magic. Wow. Insight, intellect, leadership. Ooh, this is very cool. Wow, mastery? These are insane, guys. Okay. Wow. What a drop. What a drop. What a disco drop. Whoa. Did not know. Whew. So you made it out, Amon. Thank God. Creatures who I guess were mad while the scientists had a radio voice. Got it. Exploding like transistors. Foos gave it to one of my characters once. The Ioun Stone. What if the version of the stone is inside of the telescope? It can absorb the energy you need it to. Oh my God. What if it was like built out of Ioun Stones? Oh my God. Oh, that's such a great idea. Oh, that's really good. Now I see. Is constructed from large. This is amazing. Unhewn? Ioun. Am I spelling it right? Come on. Yes, I am. Ioun Stones. Amazing. Amazing. I love that. Okay, this is dope and feels living and real. Very fucking cool. I think that the solar sphere literally absorbs, magnifies, then releases light. I love it. Okay, cool. Now I see. Vog, thank you for leading me by the hand slowly to what an Ioun Stone is. God, I don't know why that's giving me such trouble. The eye is throwing me so hard. Give that stone to low-level characters and watch them burn all those levels up so they do not have the stone by the end of the campaign. I was also kind of thinking that. Where I'm like, you guys could use this for years and then not have it at the end. But I'm telling you, they would save it and just cancel high-level shit. They would cancel the emergency teleport for the villain to escape. It's a great idea. Credit goes to Fooz, though, would never have seen it without her. Hey, that's the circle of D&D lore, expanding. The telescope could have 4 lenses to go with 4 daughters and, of course, 4 powers. Yes, that's wise. So I want to do the daughters real quick. I found it funny because 2 of the creatures attacked Arachne. She found a metal pipe, instantly impaling and starting the self-destruction. That sounds violent. I guess I could see some comedy there. What was making you laugh about it, Amon? Ioun. Thank you. Ioun. I think just seeing the eye by itself helps. Ioun. Ioun and I swoon. 4 daughters, great. So I think the 4 daughters. So I mean, I feel like it should just be like Nancy, Betty, you know what I mean? And then Mildred. I feel like it should be like very Nancy, Betty, Patsy, and Mildred. And we're really only concerned with Mildred, right? And Mildred was, what do we think, Star? I feel like that's the most standalone between water, fire, and earth, right? Phyllis. Oh my God. Phyllis is great. Nancy, Betty, Phyllis. Okay. I do like Phyllis more than I like Patsy, but like I think it needs to be sort of E Mildred, right? I do like Phyllis a lot though. That's funny. Okay, that she destroyed 4 monsters through the stunt. Got it. It is funny whenever like a desperation move really works, right? You're like, oh shit, that was a KO. When panic turns to relief. It's a beautiful moment, Amon. Phillies. Phil-ease. It's not Phyllis. Feliz. I'm not sure if that's what you're going for, but that's so funny. It's like Feliz Navidad. Yes, just like that. Just like that. It's like, okay, but is it though? I thought it was Feliz. Yeah? Okay. I think it's fire, water, earth, and star. And one is said to have been worn and lost by the great-grandson. Was actually worn by the matron of storms, Uvelda, extended down the lineage of Ice Shield orcs. Not Torn Skull. I'm just going to say to the orcs of the north. Because I think that's no need to like misdirect them. That's one thing that I truly like. If we are actively on a murder hunt or we're actively looking for some NPC that stole from the party, if the party is at this moment hunting somebody or suspicious, then and only then will I redirect them. Throw the red herring. Throw the fake target. But otherwise, in theater of the mind, I think it's too confusing. Like, be down the barrel. Be vague if you want to be mysterious. Be vague, but don't be misleading. Because I think misleading is confusing. Vague is enticing. Yeah? Okay. That's the TED Talk. Thank you. That's all I needed to say, guys. Thank you. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm leaving. But I like all of this. Like, I really, really do like all of this. I think this works for me big time. Okay, cool. Yeah, Phillies, exactly. Philly. Oh my gosh. Dude, is Philly an option? Philly is funny as hell. Like a horse, Phyllis? No, just Philly. Okay, we're doing it. Dude, this is so stupid, but it will come up. Feliz, but nicknamed Philly. Oh my God. So my last name is Phillips, and Philly was tossed around all over the place. It's very funny to me. You is the DM. That's true, damn it. That's true. My name's Philly. It's like, Dionizio, this is my wife, Philly. It's like, did he finish that? Was that a Z? Was that end in an I? Amon, when we need to apologize, we should. And it sounds like you did. So basically, Fourth Ring's location is unclear, but daughter went seeking the grandfather tree. So with that in mind, we go to problems, right? I think this is, and I knew I wanted to write something, but the Four Rings, you know, like held by, Turin Selic, still held in the remnants. No. Hold up. Everybody back up. Richter, back, dude, back. Marley's like freaked out. He's like, are you telling me to go back? Do you want me to go back? No, Marley, you're chill. I almost forgot this, and now I'm remembering. Oh, I'm so glad I remember this. God. I'm not going to do it because it just would be a whole thing. But there are so many times where I want to post or drop in the Discord the entire D&D session. So particularly those that are like, we're hanging out and you guys are helping me like chop this up, punch it up. I love to compare how it's planned to how it plays out, right? But the last session was wild. Like I didn't expect them to go so deep on some of the tangents that they went. And because I was very interested in rules 1 and 2, not including fun, but establishing the world and also establishing like why they're there, I found myself, when they're in sort of a somewhat humble merchant shop in Caravanity, and bringing up the legend of the Four Sisters and these rings, he basically, this vendor was like, I do have one of the rings, which is insane. But I think he like pulled it out and showed it to them. I haven't gone back through the recording, but in this moment, I'm like, oh, fuck. I think I went that far where I was like, 1 is here. So instead of 2 being in Caravanity, I think instead of 2 being in Everland, the 2 are in Caravanity. That's all this is. Nothing else changes. The Backbrooks of Everland. Okay, this is, yeah, that's all the changes. Cool. I just want to find that and put it there in Caravanity. Got it. This is much better. This is much better. I love them having to come back to Caravanity. That works great, actually. Can you get my DnD too? Okay. Bless you guys. Hey, thank you, Vog. I appreciate that. My government name is the Spanish form of Philip. Oh, wow. Oh, got you. I won't say it, but I know what it is. Hey, man. Need those cosigns. Okay, Richter went ahead and said it. You guys be name buddies. See, I do again with the shiver. Man, my brother-in-law changed his name, or more switched his first and his middle. And I mean, I've always sort of been like, okay, cool. I guess I'm John. I guess that makes sense. But to actively not like it, like I can understand that, you know? Like if my name was Chad, I think I would have lost my shit as like a 7-year-old. And this is before the Chads even entered the 4chan chat. But it's like, Chad? Apologies to all the Chads out there, man. I ain't your mama. I didn't name you. Don't come at me. I support you changing your government name to another name. Maybe. You the DM of your life. Ain't that the truth? God, if only I could roll dice and get answers. That is so funny. Vog, you're killing me. Honestly, Dionizio fucking rips. If you're looking for a rip, you could do worst. Dio Maggio? Come on. If they get a ring now, awesome. If not, and they have to come back, then they are coming back to a place they really know now. Exactly. I don't think they would. I do, and I mentioned this to you, Richter, that like I was so sort of in the moment with this. But they were like, what do we need to do? Like, how much is it? And he was like, more than you can pay. And they were like, well, how much? And I'm sort of sitting there like, gold is like basically non-existent. Like people hoard gold. Gold would move the needle, but it's like, he wouldn't say 5,000 gold. Like that's absurd. And to say something lower like 500 gold just didn't feel right given the normal cost of goods. And they'd already seen that things were like shrunk down, like low because people didn't have much, and also radically inflated. Like he was selling an old book for like 600 gold pieces. But when they ask about the ring, he more or less was like, it would cost you 4 lives. Younger than 20. And that, of course, sparked a weird, series of pedo accusations against myself. How dare they? How dare they impugn my character? But it was, obviously in jest. But that was because he was going to perform dark magic, not because he was going to what's weirder than dark magic, I guess. But, in Athos, in the world of this great loss of the Fallen Coast, some of the deepest, most powerful reservoirs of magic come directly from living things. So, yeah, if they come back with 4 bodies, okay, I guess we'll just, we'll figure that out if it happens. But I love how much we're building this out, guys. Like this to me is very, it's making a lot more sense, right? 2 are in Caravanity. Held in the remnants of the League of Merchants. Oh my God, you did it. That once ran Everland. That's why it's in Caravanity. And Everland is a different location entirely. It's Selic. Honestly, that's it. I'm so glad that we got there. Like, that makes so much fucking sense. I will buy the advantage similar to D&D's feat that she can trip an enemy better. I think I missed the reference. That's, I'm tripping, you tripping, dog. And you ain't tripping. Yeah, the 4 lives was great. It's, I think, a good tone, right? Oh, yeah, exactly, Kit. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, T-dubs. They more were just harassing me. And similarly, whenever they took this child that had been bitten through the chest and took them to this, lady of the Black Rock, who healed this child with, forbidden magic. The purse keeper that was there sort of accusing them. What happened to this child? I was really trying to be very grave in this moment. It's like he was seen bleeding through the Black Rock, but a half hour removed. He seems fine now. Come here, child. And the boy doesn't move. And I described the purse keeper taking 2 or 3 hard steps and grabbing the boy and ripping his shirt open, which of course renewed these accusations. I don't mean to make light of an absolutely awful, whatever. Let's just move on. But it was more just my party giving me a hard time because we love each other. But I get that, kids. It's like, yo, what the fuck? I'm just saying, PCs have a way of getting into all the wrong places and picking up and taking things that you are not ready for them to have. Yes, they also stole from the merchant. Pocketed one of his die, So I don't know what we're going to do with that. So one is in a beautiful preserved island. Preserved island. Preserved by the preservers. So that's a capital P, preserved. Preserved island in the Sea of Silt. One is worn on the finger of the fae that was. Okay, now we're getting spicy as hell, young blood. Let's go.
Let's go.
I love. Not that it's like, oh my gosh. I mean, you guys have done all the heavy lifting. But just by deciding anything to begin your campaign, to begin your homebrew, to begin your map, by simply starting on your map, on your campaign, on whatever it is, you are creating something to work from. You are starting a basis to draw from. You're throwing down names, you're throwing down geography, ideas. It is very hard to build off of something if nothing is built. Got to build the ground floor. And it can be anything, because then you have something to build off of. So that's what I feel like we're kind of seeing come in to roost here, which I like. Grateful for that. Okay, cool. So I feel good about this. I think warned by the matron of storms. The fourth ring's location is unclear, said to have been still worn by a daughter. She went seeking the grandfather tree and the wisdom of its shadow. But around this time, the great loss happened. She was seen again. The high forest turned to wasteland in the stretch of days. In the high forest, perhaps, as it turned. So maybe she was responsible for some of the devastation. Oh my God, I already had this down. She used the star ring. Let's fucking go. I mean, it is serendipity o'clock up in here, y'all. By the way, I do have one seat left. And this is the final. You have 2 weeks to get in if you want. But man, we had session 3 last night. And it was popping off. Or no, I guess it was on Monday. Oh my gosh, guys. Just quick pause. In the start playing game, they are running a version of my campaign 1, but like truncated. And I basically had them meet the Shambling Man. I wish so badly we'd recorded the session. They like tried to attack him. Classic D&D chaos. Okay, the Fae that was, I love this. Twisted Healer. She falls. She wanted to start over. She pulled, oh my God, guys, she pulled all of the spirit of the forest and drew it into the grandfather tree. I'm loving this. I think the grandfather tree is like the tree of life. Because we have those. We have those in Athos. So I think one thing that we'll just put with the problems here is one positive are the trees of life. Most notably the grandfather tree. Almost like irrepressible sources of natural vitality and life, living in defiance of the wasteland around them. I think this is like the presence of the old gods, right? Of Maliki and her mother, Shantea. I mean, that's some spicy shit though. Like this I like a lot. So that's part of the kind of climate sort of storyline, right? You know? If you make it a baobab tree, it will throw your PCs. What's a baobab tree? They call him Shambling Man. Honestly, he is a go-to and such a beloved guy. Like, I love putting myself in his POV. And as we all know, the leader of Caravanity is the Shambling Man, also known in this world as the Tradesman. Plus, the baobab tree is nicknamed the Tree of Life. Baobab? Like the ones in Madagascar? I'm liking where this is going. The Great Deku Tree. God bless you. Does the tree talk, kids? I think the grandfather tree does. I'm just going to put this down. You know what? No, I'll put this under natural world. Remaining conflicts, campaign 2, Dark Acre, Fallen Coast, Natural Order, great. The Ashen Land, great. So I'm just going to put this here, and I think that the grandfather tree can. The trees of life. And I like to sort of color code stuff, right? Usually red is either problems or the hells, which are problems, right? But I think for things that are climate related, I'm just going to make it green. That's pretty obvious. Tree. The star, the fae that was, aka our girl Mildred. Pooled the power of the star forest. Is it the star forest? I think it is. Into this ancient trunk. The tree can speak and does so telepathically, I think. Okay. I think so. I know they're in, but it's all wizened totally. It looks like they were planted upside down. Okay, I can picture that. Back when I was a young... The problem with playing anyone slow is that it takes 4 hours, right? Thank you for the bow bop. Let's check it out. Oh, fuck. What the shit? Son of a... Are you kidding me? Dog, that is a Deku tree. Like, I could carve that out and make a hut out of that. No problem. Also called an upside down tree. Only has leaves 3 months of the year. Just like me. Incredible. Okay. There's a lot of cool stuff here that I have kind of down. I'm going to change this because it is TBD. But I'm going to change this to more of the space theme, which is purple. Okay. Guys, I am so amped on this campaign. This is going to be so much fun. I just want to touch like on the 4 daughters one more time because I think that Mildred was like trying to set things right. I think a lot of the like archdruid types almost fell into like a state of woe, like a state of like bereft brokenness at the state of the world, of like the natural domain. So this to me kind of moves her into this place of darkness, right? Into this sort of bending towards ill intent, or maybe not ill intent, but ill effect, death, ruin. Buried deep into the hand and fingers. But I think figuring out what, I think we just put some of this, right? She was bereft at the loss of the natural domain. She fought against it, but was overwhelmed. It twisted her, a thief of her happiness, leaving behind woe and darkness. Her intent is not ill, but her effects often are. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe. Yeah, losing her humanity slowly as she drank in the darkness. Sapped of life, like the land itself. So this for me, like the Fae that was, is coming together in a big way. I have them as a BBEG down here, right? An old witch that tricked a fairy. Nah, I don't think she tricked anybody. Haunting them with heartache or regret. That I forgot. She possesses one of the rings. Cool. So we don't play till next Tuesday. I'm going out of town into this week, so I won't be doing a prep stream until after the fact next Wednesday. But I'll let you guys, kind of know, of course, how the session goes and what we sort of get into. I didn't really work too much on the actual like beats of next session, of session 2, because I feel like I have a lot of them. Like they're going to be moving into, probably, certainly initiative, but potentially combat. They're going to see Dionicio getting beat up. They're going to trace back what happened to Mace, find these bodies, and all will be well in the land of ruin. Sapped of life. Pun time! You are absolutely right. That's really, really good. It's a pretty on Dark Sim theme. I agree. Yeah, I will definitely use that image. I think it's almost like it's such a silhouette as well, right? Like we imagine that, but 60 feet tall. So this like bulbous base, this enormous like boulder of a base, which is actually really cool given the kind of like bouldery, rocky, broken landscape. By all means, at the end of the campaign, assuming the Dark Sun world is undone, then by all means have it recover into another tree. Interesting. Now that's a great visual. That's hilarious. Okay, guys, this has been rad. Thank you for coming through. Really, I don't know, just appreciate you. Like hanging out, like doing what we can do. I love to end these streams by rating somebody else. Typically somebody that's doing some sort of D&D prep or action. It's a great way to sort of uplift them, give them some love, give a little boost to their day. So let's see if I can find someone doing prep. Oh, Dorktales, man. This guy's great. Sick. Okay, so Dorktales is very funny. I think he's cool. Seems like he's doing some homebrew of feats and archetypes. Yeah, it'll be fun. So anyway, if you can, please pop in, give him some love, say what up. Tell him Carpe sent you. But to everybody that sort of came through, a lot of legends today, guys. Like, I really, really appreciate it. Vogue, of course, Richter, Amon, Marshmallow, Kits, Foos. Who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting one person. I can feel it in my bones. Oh, the engineer coming through. Appreciate that. I don't know if you're still here. Feel free to drop me a follow. I stream every Wednesday, D&D Prep. We're moving into Campaign 2, the Dark Sun port over, known as the Fallen Coast. So that'll be a fun time, but I'm pretty sure you're gone into the ether, and that is okay. But guys, I love y'all. I'll see you next week. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. I'm out of here. I'm gone. We gone. We ghosted. We ghosted and we gone.